Hi, my name is Kinsey Leger, and today I will be talking about the concept of word families. Word families are just a small piece and subcategory of the expansive concept of phonics. Word families are words that share spelling and sound patterns. An example of a word family would be the AT word family. This would include words like cat, mat, bat, or chat, and a lot of others like that also. Word families are also called phonograms, which provide us with groups of words that have a predictable and similar pattern and sound. The words within a specific word family all have the same final spelling and sound. In other words, they have the same rhyme and the same rhyme. Small reminder, rhyme and rhyme are not the same and they have different meanings. All rhymes rhyme, but not all rhymes rhyme. Confused yet? It's simple. Rhyme is simply the string of letters following the onset or beginning of a word. All words with rhyme have the same final spellings and vowel sound. Rhyme is the same final spellings, while rhyme is the same final sound. Words that rhyme would be kit, mit, and fit, all because they have the IT ending. Words that rhyme would be way, bay, and puree. As you can see, all these words have the same final sound, but don't necessarily all have the same final ending. These help us learn and recognize sound-symbol relationships. This is when we recognize each letter in a word and associate those letters with their corresponding sounds that we have learned already. The pronunciation of these words as a whole, after being recognized, broken down letter by letter, and blended is known as synthetic phonics. We have learned the sounds each letter makes, blended those sounds together to create words, and are now actively categorizing those words into the word families in which they belong. They're very helpful to practice for emergent, early, and even transitional learners because jumping right into reading can be very difficult. Our English language often strays from its familiar spelling and familiar pronunciation patterns, and is therefore very misleading for young readers. For example, a student who is aware that OW is pronounced ow would not correctly pronounce bow in the context of a hair bow. These inconsistencies need to be addressed and taught to students to avoid these mistakes. This can be taught through these word families. Using words synthetically will allow students to see the spelling and sound patterns and relationships between words and therefore can begin to organize these words into categories in their minds as similar spelling, similar sound. That would be very helpful in teaching these patterns would be to gradually introduce each word family, allowing students each time to practice brainstorming these real words and nonsense words that would fit into that category. They can take the word family or final sound currently being taught, change the first letter using every letter of the alphabet to familiarize themselves with the sound-spelling relationship, begin to recognize words for ease in future decoding, and distinguish between real words and nonsense words. Nonsense words are useful in the beginning of this learning process because recognizing the spelling-sound pattern is what is important at first. Then, real words will be solely focused on to build vocabulary also. When a real word is written and seen, it will begin to stick in their head from that point on, and eventually seen as a whole word rather than a string of letters. This is when we begin calling their cognitive process of pronunciation analytical phonics. Word families are a subset of decoding and rhyme, which are all under the broad spectrum of phonics. These phonetical concepts are so important because without them, the pronunciation, recognition, and analyzing of sounds within words is impossible. This video was helpful to you in understanding word families, learning about them, knowing how to use them in your classroom, and realizing their importance to the literacy of students. Thank you for watching.